This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain adult language, violence, and sexual themes, as well as shocking revelations. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I are playing the Pulp Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is Return to the Land of Turu the Terrible. It was written by Thomas Grooms, who is also our keeper of arcane lore. This is episode 2. Our recap will be given by Kun Lighton as his character, Johnny Quest. So without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Kun?
Last week on Johnny Quest, the crew was contacted while they were at the base, trying on a new rocket belt for Bandit. The crew was called into Brazil, where they previously encountered a lot of a trinoxide mine before and a giant pterodon. When they went to Brazil, they were greeted by an agent from Intelligence One, a certain Durek Ironward, who showed them some strange documents about a professor from the Miskatonic University going to believing in ancient civilizations and going on leaving the university, going on a weird quest. While traveling the river, they met again with Skipper, who they knew from their previous tangle in the jungle. The Skipper had a new mate, a certain Paul, who Bandit was very scared about. And when they went up to the river, the amount of insects decreased, the amount of wildlife decreased, and all the plants took on a strange purple hue. They found the Amazon Queen, Skipper's favorite boat, being just overgrown and like sunk into the water. Race went to check out what was on the ship, and he found a skeleton. But after he found the skeleton, he was attacked by a weird creature that seemed like lizard-like. The Johnny Quest crew tried to fight off all these lizard creatures, and there were also monkey creatures with tentacles for mouths and weird long fingers on the shore, distracting Bandit. The crew managed to fight off all these creatures, and that was last week's episode. Will the crew find out what will happen now? I'm sorry. What will happen now? Will the crew find out what happened to the camp? Why they were called in? Sorry, it was a little clunky, but yeah. Let's keep it at
that. Just landed at the docks, the dock, very primitive dock, but in the village you can see in the distance, as well as the large mountain. So look, before we get started, this is Pulp Cthulhu, so there is a luck refresh. So basically roll, your luck. If you fail, you get a 1d10 plus 5. If you succeed, you get 2d10 plus 10 points of luck.
It's the other way around,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, sorry.
No, that's correct.
If
that was correct.
If
you gotta fail.
it's-
Sorry, you need to fail. We'll do this one over. So if you fail, you get a. I will just read it from the book.
Yeah.
If your roll is higher than your current luck, score. So basically failing it, you add 2d10 plus 10
Yeah.
points of luck. If your roll is equal to or less than your present luck score, it's a 1d10 plus 5. There we go.
Okay. Sorry. I had a 04, so it's only 1d10 plus 5 for me. I roll a 2 plus 7.
I got a
And
whole
once you're
10
done,
points.
just give me a thumbs up and we will go on. All right. So you pull up to this dock, like relatively primitive dock, but strong and sturdy built. There's a pile of trinoxide under a tarp laying there. There's a mining cart. You see that there's mining tracks that run off into the distance, but there's a mining cart sitting there abandoned on the tracks. It still even has ore in it. Um, Again, the vegetation that you see under the shade is all that purplish violet hues. It's very beautiful, but very odd. I think as bandits looking down over the side, you see these fish, in the kind of the shadow of the ship. They're luminous and they have long, beautiful tails and flowing fins. It's very pretty. They're kind of circling the boat. The forest is quiet. The only sound that you really are hearing is the numerous mosquitoes. Seems very large mosquitoes swarming around, almost in thick, dark clouds. Yeah, and anytime you're doing something, and they're just in your way. They're all over you. They're biting you. They're annoying you. Um, you don't want to stay right here for long. Skipper rings the bell and looks around, just yelled out, "Those blasted lazy people, where are they? You go ahead, Quest. We'll stay here and start unloading the supplies. We may even get that trinoxide loaded today as well."
Okay, Skipper, that's what we'll do. Um, did
He
I
looks
get the
relieved that the
chance?
doctor is leaving finally.
Did I get the chance to dissect that lizard man or whatever it was?
It turned into goo,
Oh,
if
that's
you
right.
remember
That's right. I
correct.
forgot about that.
Yeah. You've got some of the
It,
goo,
but
but
yeah, disintegrated. Okay.
yeah.
Well, boys, we're here. Let's get off and see what we've gotten ourselves into.
All right. As you get off the boat, you can see in the distance there's a clear path leading back into, the woods there, the forest. There's that railroad track that leads off into the distance. And when you're looking, you can clearly see that there's a village in the distance. Um, there's also a small wooden framed house that's on the outside of the village near the path. It's got a tin roof. I mean, it looks completely different than all the structures that are built in the village. This
We
one
see
stands.
nobody.
You
Nobody at
see
all.
people wandering around,
Okay, we do
the
see people.
movement of people, you've got the smells, you've got the sounds. There's people there in the village. Um, you get like that citronella smell too, even from there's little fires going on in the village. So yeah, there's definitely signs of life. And of course, looming over it all is the big mountain.
Well, boys, you mind your P's and Q's. Don't be polite. You know your manners.
All right.
Bandit, you don't get into any mischief.
What do you
Shall
want
we
to do,
go
John?
into let's go to the village. Let's have a look around. Come on, bandit. Oh, you're muted.
Race, you and I, we're going to have a look at that mountain.
Yes.
The
Do you
boys will be
think?
fine.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
Do
the
you think,
Akala Tepu. But go ahead. Sorry.
Dr. Quest? Do you think Aku is here?
I'm sorry, ask that again.
Do you think Aku is here?
Aku.
A coup? I wouldn't know. I mean, I see those villagers over there. I think everything's fine. That's the mountain that we went up the last time, remember?
Oh, yes, I remember, and I look worryingly around just to make sure that there's no pterodon present at the moment.
Yeah. Well, it should have died. I can't imagine that it survived that, but they have said large animals, and we saw some pretty large, odd animals in the water. Uh, but I mean, here there shouldn't be, there's no apes, there's no great apes on this continent. There's just monkeys.
Yes, and thanks to your scientific discoveries, we are better prepared this time. And I
Hmm.
pat my weapons with me. I have with me.
Well, let's figure out how we're going to get up there if we're going to have to climb.
Yes.
I don't remember how did they get up there in the move in
Rocket. The rocket belts.
they use the rocket belts. Okay, yeah, we could use rocket belts to get up there. We'll do that all together when the time comes.
Okay. Well,
We
they're
should get
stored on the ship. Pretty much. And again, Race, given your past history of coming here, you've got a bazooka. You know, you're prepared. Now, whether or not you're carrying that around with you is
well, I improved the design, so now it's much smaller, but it
compact.
expands into
Wow. Yes.
It is a universal tool, after all.
But it's close. I mean, you can get back to the ship easy enough if you want to get anything off of it. Um, so I'm assuming you're just wandering, having a conversation as you're wandering into the village.
yeah, we got to figure out how we're gonna set up.
Exactly.
And the boys
The
have
lay
gone
of the
ahead.
land.
They're doing whatever they want.
Last time you were here, that village, you really didn't interact with it. A coup was your one contact that Race was bringing up. And the village had been pretty much cleared out because they were using most of those villagers,
Yeah,
forcing them to work in the mine.
we rescued them.
Dean was, and you guys rescued it. And you can see a lot of new buildings as you're coming into this village. It used to be really dilapidated. Now it looks really almost brand new.
Did the skipper and Paul come with us? Are they staying
No,
on the boat?
they're staying on the boat.
They're loading, unloading.
Hmm. Did you want to do anything before we go on? Anyone?
We're going
Boy.
towards the village, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no. Nothing before that.
Okay.
I do want to have a look at the village.
The boys will get there before we do because they run around and stuff, and we don't.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not a very far trip. You're clearly following this. They've got this, rail line that basically is cutting through. And I put a map of the village in the Discord. Just have to scroll up a wee bit. Anyways, it cuts through the village. There's 13. Okay, so as you start to come out into this large clearing, the first thing that you notice is there's that small structure, small house right there near the path. Like I said, it's a wooden building. It's definitely cut lumber, with a tin roof, has a little bit of a porch to it, and there's a well outside of it and a privy in the back. Little outhouse. The rest of the village, it's a fairly large village. There's 13 well-made huts of various sizes, kind of lying in a circular pattern around an open plaza. In addition to the huts, there's that tall wooden post in the center of the plaza and various open air shelters, these makeshift shelters that they've built all over the place, just to to do little work under, and protect yourself from the sun. Um, the huts and shelters are draped in a lot of mosquito netting around, and that rail line that goes through is partially obscured by dirt and piles of rock. It's left a black scar through the village. It's very noticeable. There's oil stains and stuff like that. Bandit, a few scrawny dogs kind of lounging in the shade of the huts. They look up, and one small brown dog that's kind of close gives you a little tail wag and an excited bark as you kind of enter into the village. You're right there on the edge of the village.
Alarmed ears and barking back at him, and then hiding behind Johnny.
Yeah. The little dog is just a tad larger than you, but scrawny, very thin. It looks like all the villagers don't really look up at you, really. They seem to be busy working in the cassava fields. Some are repairing the huts, they're preparing food. Some of the women are weaving. They seem to kind of ignore you. But okay, so and then let me just kind of describe these people. The Maepi are kind of like in the show. I mean, the women kind of wear their hair, their black hair long. They're well groomed. They're decorated with toucan feathers, mostly bright feathers, and some beads. They mostly wear wrapped skirts made of brightly colored fabrics and a sort of half poncho made from natural fibers, dyed red, yellow, and orange. It's very beautiful. And the men, they keep their hair short. They wear bright colored fabric loincloths as well. And everyone has, beaded necklaces. There's various tattoos, and some have like red paint on their faces.
Do
As
we
you break into,
recognize any of them?
not offhand, you don't see a Ku and his brother, Nuago. But you do see somebody that you recognize, Doctor. There's that Mark Lorenzo is just coming out of one of the huts, out of the large council hut, actually.
Oh,
He's got his medical bag with him. And just quickly give you a quick description. He is American of Mexican descent. He's kind of short, a little overweight, wears some dark glasses and a loose-fitting linen jacket or suit. He doesn't seem to be sweating despite the warm temperatures. You met him, Dr. Quest, at a conference years ago, National Health Conference that you were attending. I think you were probably presenting something on mosquitoes, repelling mosquitoes, something like that. Maybe your new salve that you've developed.
did who is he the one that called us about this?
No, that was Matt.
That was Matt.
Or no,
Okay.
no, sorry, no, that was not Matt. That was Matt is the mining foreman. That was one of the agents who
Okay.
contacted the original
Uh,
of Intel One.
Dr. Lorenzo? I say
That's
that
all.
like I don't, I'm not sure. The
Yeah.
thing is, I got a photographic memory. So, Dr.
Exactly. You definitely
Lorenzo.
remember him. You know that, he's married to a Clara, and he has one son, older than Johnny.
Dr. Lorenzo, I didn't expect to see you here.
Oh, he's hola, hola. We have visitors. Oh, is that you, Dr. Quest? How
Indeed, it
wonderful to
is.
see you again.
Yes, indeed. How's your wife, Clara?
She's doing well. Thanks you for asking. So what brings you here?
Well, we were sent out here because we heard rumors that some of the villagers were being attacked by large animals. We were here last year. Um, we were sent out here. I can't remember. Oh, we were sent out here for the trillium
Trinoxide.
last year.
Yeah.
Trinoxide. Sorry, the trinoxide last year, and we were attacked by some man who had imprisoned a lot of the villagers. Dean, uh, Dean something. So much for my photographic memory.
No worries. We'll fix it in post.
uh, so we decided to come on back out here in case something was going on. I've got a degree in biology as well as all of my other degrees. So I thought we'd come out and so we noticed something as we were coming. There seems to be a lot of purple coloration to the plant life that I don't recall from before.
Yeah, things have changed greatly here recently. But while you're here, I've got a couple patients. Maybe you want to take a look at them with me.
I'll come with you. Sure.
All right.
Grace, make sure
Bandit.
the boys, don't get into too much trouble.
Yes, I'll get us settled, Doctor.
And I'll go off
And,
with him.
and
Yeah, you're over by the council. You check your map. There's a council house there, and then right across the tracks is the doctor's house as well. Bandit, that
Okay.
little dog comes up to you, wagging its tail.
Uh, so
It's
this local
scrawny.
dog, pretty friendly then?
Yeah, it's a female.
Okay, okay. Um, well, I guess I'll uh, bark at her. What's up? Bark, bark.
They do, normal dog greeting things as they're running around. Um, then Johnny, the boys, what are you doing?
I think
Bandit's right
we'll
here
run.
playing with this little dog.
Yeah, Bandit seems to amuse himself. I'll probably run around the village, like see from what I remember what's changed. If I see any people I recognize, maybe go into the council house, see if something cool is there or something interesting.
Haji?
I'll be following Johnny and kind of looking around the same way just to see if I see anything that's unusual or be observant.
And just to clarify, just for everyone, you don't speak the language, except for Haji has a little bit of, you've picked it up a little bit. And of course, Dr. Quest knows the local language here. Um, you're obviously, your Dr. Lorenzo is speaking the local language. And then Bandit speaks the language of, all dogs. So,
Universal dog language.
universal dog. Now, the only thing when you see Dr. Quest and Lorenzo go into this large hut, um, a young girl comes out. She's long black hair and pretty. She's probably, 13, 14, maybe something in that. She comes out. She's carrying a bag as well, a little doctor's kit. She gives as you walk by her, Dr. Quest, she gives a couple coughs, some light coughs as she comes out.
So is it worse than a cold, or are they? I'm actually I'm talking to the doctor.
Oh,
Seems like she might have a bit of a chest cold, or is there something worse? Show me the.
Yokami? Oh, she's all, I think she's all right. Maybe just the dust has bothered her, something. But she's my apprentice. She's very capable.
Ah,
You may know, actually, she's Ku's daughter.
Aku's daughter.
Yeah.
Yes, it was Aku who kind of started this whole thing with
Yeah,
us.
kind of led you here. So
Well, that's good. Is she good? Is she good apprentice? She's
she's
acting as your nurse.
very smart.
Oh,
She's
wonderful.
picked up English as well, and she is very bright young girl. I think
Excellent.
she'll make a great doctor when I leave for these people.
Mhm.
I've
Excellent.
shown her everything I know. So we'll just stick with that real quick. As you walk in, you see that there are um, three boys in hammocks. They are pale. They seem to be, you can quickly diagnose this, Dr. Quest. It's not hard. They're dehydrated. They seem exhausted. And they've got lots of like cuts and bruises all over them, like they've been running through the woods or something like it. Nothing deep, but yeah, they've been cut up
Any
pretty
of it
bad here and there.
infected?
That's what they've been treating for. That's what
Uh,
Yokami was treating them. They've got some salve on them. They've been cleaned up a bit. They're resting right now.
I'll check their temperature and does it seem like a disease or does it seem like exhaustion? Can I
It
roll for
Sure. Give me a medical.
what is medical under? Medical. Yes, medical. No, I seem baffled by what it is.
Well,
It could be a number of things. Could be
well,
there's so many things. Seems like they've got a bit of an anemia. They're
yes,
pale.
yes.
You don't have blood supplies out here, do you?
No, it's hard. Maybe we may have some being delivered. I think I heard the bell from the
Well,
boat.
that's where we
Oh,
came from. We
oh
came on the
yes.
boat.
No fancy flying machines, Dr. Quest.
Well, no, we came the slow way. Well, we flew into Brazil, into
Hmm.
the city, but it's been the boat ride since then.
That's a very lovely boat ride. You're talking to Dr. Lorenzo, obviously.
Hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
we had a weird encounter, but um, it seemed almost like animals were moving away from this area. I noticed that the 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 wildlife seems to have quieted down, except for the damn mosquitoes.
Yeah, the plague of mosquitoes. It's about the only thing that's left anymore. The game has been scarce. The food is pretty tasteless. We're kind of living
I've,
off of the food that's being delivered, the
uh,
weekly or biweekly deliveries.
well,
Um,
Skipper and Paul are unloading it now, so
oh, good, excellent, excellent. Yeah, our supplies have been running low. There's a lot of people here, not to mention the miners up top.
yeah, be going up and seeing them later. Uh,
Oh, okay, and just to be, it's getting later. It is late. It's you ride here late in the day. You got a few
we'll
hours
go
of
up and visit. Yeah, we'll go up and visit them tomorrow.
yeah.
It's been a long trip.
Lorenzo offers you and a place at his house. It's that little um, shack over there. Um, but we'll step out to Race. Are you staying with Dr. Quest or are you wandering around?
I would start being around Dr. Quest, Dr. Lorenzo, but once they go into the medical kind of thing, I know I'm not really much use over there, so I will do a bit of reconnaissance, see how's the village, to see how are the indigenous people, if there's more sickness in the village, or what basically Dr. Lorenzo has said so far, does it seem to be true? And to have a good look around, especially that in the equatorial region the night falls very quickly. All right,
Right.
so
So
if we are
you'll
getting
see Johnny and Haji kind of wandering around the village as well, doing their thing, running around, and then bandits playing with this other dog here and there. Um, what you do notice quickly is that people are not necessarily paying much attention to you. They're doing their daily activities. Um, if you try to engage, again, only Haji really knows some of the language, but I'm sure you've got a basic hello type of greeting that you can give people. They just kind of look away, look down. You do not see any obvious people sick. Um, but you also don't see a lot of, just as I was telling Dr. Quest, you don't see a lot of um, indigenous foods being prepared. Most things are from cans or, bags of rice are being pulled out and things like that. So um, they don't seem to be eating much of their local food. There's no big roast. You don't see any roasted creatures over the fire, things like that.
that is peculiar. I take note of that. And after not finding anything weird as such, I will probably return towards the boat to see how is Skipper doing with unloading the cargo. I don't want to leave Skipper and the other man, Paul,
Oh,
alone, alone
okay.
in the jungle as such, right? Well, especially
Huh.
when the night comes. So if they are basically still unloading, help them to move the cargo to the village and leave the rest for the morning.
Okay. Okay. And then Bandit, the dog kind of pulls you out into the like a big plaza area, kind of running around. It's running around the pole. You're kind of playing around. The other dogs don't seem to be bothered getting up. It's too hot. It's not fun. The villagers kind of start looking at this. Johnny, you catch this. Haji, you're noticing, and Race, you would probably be seeing this as well as bandits playing around. Bandit, give me a cuteness roll.
Can do. Certainly.
Cuteness.
My special sports skill.
He has to roll for that.
That's the roll for that.
74 out of 80. Success.
Success. You start to see that the villagers, are starting to laugh at that. Johnny, Haji, Race, you start to see that they're looking up and kind of chuckling. And then as you see this interaction, this almost the villagers kind of smile. Some may be pointing at the, dogs playing around. They're making fun of Bandit's, squat, fat figure. He doesn't really look like the dogs that are around here. Um, most of these dogs are the classic, just dogs, longer muzzles, things like that, longer tail. Um, Bandit's kind of shrunk like a little loaf running around in his white and, bright white for having a good time. So you can see that the villagers are, actually seem to be warming up to you. Johnny, Haji, there's a woman that offers you a drink and a cup.
Just water? What kind of
Yeah,
drink?
just water. It's water.
Um, I'll accept it, and if maybe probably Dr. Quest learned me how to say hi and thank you, so I'll say thank you in their language.
Haji's there as well, so
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah,
can help you there. So we'll gracefully accept.
because we
um
don't know about the dehydrated people in the tent, right? So
no.
I'll just accept and
Yeah, she's got some food that she'll offer if you want to sit down. Race, if you're close by, if you want, she'll offer you a drink as well. And
what do you
it's a
think,
hot
Haji? Are
day.
you hungry? Are you hungry, Haji?
Just I can have a snack, but I'm not super hungry.
Can you tell that to the lady in her language?
Yep, I'll tell her that.
Just slap the bowl out of her hands. I don't want this. So yeah, you can convey, maybe not now, but it is getting later. You'll be hungry here soon. Um, Race, did you want any of this?
Oh yes, yes. I accept the water from
Any of the food
the.
before you go off to the ship?
Yeah, why not?
She'll offer you a place to sit there. Bandit, you're getting, all this running around, kind of getting thirsty as well.
Yeah, I guess after running around, you know, barking up a storm and sniffing various people and things for a little while. Uh, yeah, I'll try to see if I'll kind of make my way back around to Johnny and Haji and
Okay.
bark at them for a little bit. Particularly Haji, who's holding a bowl of something.
Well, oh, sorry, I was missing the chat. I didn't have that up. Um,
Ah,
no, for Bandit, no, you're not wearing all that right now. So you don't like to wear the armor unless you
yeah,
have,
yeah.
but it's available to you. Um, so okay, doctor, you're looking over this patient. It does look like it's just again exhaustion. And you're talking to Lorenzo there, and he gives you that, the boys' conditions. They came. They've been gone for days. They've been out searching for Taue, and I think they became lost. Maybe they stumbled into the village this morning in this condition.
Hard to get lost. They were looking for what?
Oh, Taue is young. He was the apprentice of the our shaman.
Ah,
He's been missing for weeks now.
well, that's not good. That's
No, the it's a tragic story. The shaman was well, I just he kind of pulls you to the side. Uh, that Matt killed the shaman, just shot him.
okay. Remind me who Matt is again.
Oh, Matt is the foreman,
He
foreman of the
shot
miners. Yes, he's
at
pulled you
no,
outside of the council house,
right.
and he's kind of
Um,
whispered this to you to the side.
is there something going on with the miners?
Yeah, I mean, he's looking around. Yeah, the village is not very happy at all, at all with the
Some
miners.
something now to the GM. Are the miners hired by uh the company?
Okay, so the miners are there probably with hired through this Intelligence One.
Intelligence.
like a CIA type of covert
Right.
that race used to belong to. You're in there. They're very, it's very secret organization.
Yeah, but they're not the kind of people that murder people, so
No,
something's
they're supposed to
going
be
on.
keeping a low profile here
Uh,
and work with the villagers. I mean, they've been using the villagers for assistance, help. There's only 22 or so of these miners there.
yeah, I find it very difficult to understand that the boys got lost when one, this is their area. They should know the area. And two, all you have to do is look up and see the big gigantic tapui, and walk towards
Yeah.
that. You're going to get here. But something from all the cuts and scrapes and stuff, they were running. You could tell that.
They were running
They were
from something.
running from something. Um, are any large predators, jaguars, or
Oh yes, there's large predators, and of course the miners have been complaining of large, being attacked by some kind of animal. I think they're again just, these jaguars out there. Uh Talking the village though, it's it could be ogres. They have their
well, they
little
know their jungle, and if the little boy disappeared, the apprentice, um, jaguar can make a meal out of a human being pretty easily.
Yeah,
So,
we would hate to see Towie go. He was kind of filling in that role. He was enslaved by Dean. He was
uh,
he was his personal servant. His boy that he used to, get him, fetch him food and stuff like that. He's not even part of this village. He was brought in, but the village kind of adopted him after, and especially our local shaman.
wow, it sounds like you've got a mess going on here.
It's a
Uh,
and as you say that, and the rest of you too as well. You start to see coming out of the tree line, towards where the mountain is three or four men. Nuago, Aku's brother, is clearly leading them. Um, he's a very handsome man, tall and lean, dressed in purple loincloth, and he has a headdress of feathers, very bright colored feathers. His wears a necklace of various glass beads and those caiman teeth, there. But he's a striking figure, but even more so is that he's painted pretty much in a white clay, and his eyes have been kind of blacked out with some kind of makeup of some sort. In his hand brace is a machete. He's walking straight towards the council house. The three men that he's with are adorned very similar, except they do not have the headdress as well. He makes a very imposing figure, and he is walking straight towards both doctors.
I would stand up when I see them approaching the house. Tell the boys, stay here, stay out of trouble. Thank the lady if she's still there for the food. And not in any confrontational way, but just to be safe, move towards the house as the three men are moving, just to keep an eye what's going on, because them approaching in this stern way, as I understand, with a machete out, it might be a problem.
Yeah, the other men have spears as they're walking directly towards you, Dr. Quest, and you see Nuago. Um, and under Dr. Lorenzo's breath, he goes, Oh, do you remember Nuago? He's our village leader now.
Of course. Nawago.
You, and he points straight at you. You brought this evil to the mountain, and now the ancestors are angry. You must leave, or the ancestors, or sorry, they must leave, or the ancestors will make them go. As he gets really close, he's not raising his machete or anything, but he's getting really close to the doctor.
Nawago, we came here to help you. We heard you were being attacked. We want to help. That's why we're here.
The only help that you could give us is to get rid of those outsiders, get them out of our mountain.
You mean the miners?
Yes, get rid of
Well,
them.
I just got a report from the doctor of what's been going on, and there's definitely something wrong going there. If Matt indeed murdered one of your people, then we'll get rid of him.
Oh, yes, indeed, he shot him. He shot Akiwi down, just pulled out a gun and killed him. And now, our Toei is missing. It's madness.
Well, this does sound like something that we can't wait. We need to get to the bottom of. Uh, but it's starting to get dark right now, is it?
Yes, yes. But they say now that they say they won't leave. They say they found more of that rock that keeps them here, and they're even bringing back more outsiders.
Well, we'll see what we can do.
Well, remove those miners and all their stuff and forget what lies inside.
We'll do what we need to do, but you must be patient. It might take a little time. We have to. There's not anything we have no way of contacting anyone on the outside at the moment. So, but believe me, if something wrong has happened, we will take care of it.
So, okay, so a couple things happened. I need everybody else outside to roll a spot hidden.
Everybody else, not me.
Not you, sorry. Yep. You're the one engaged. In race, you're probably kind of focused on Nuago in this interaction, so maybe just the boys and Bandit. Give me that spot hidden.
97.
That's a no.
With my bonus
33.
is 13 extreme success for me.
Haji, how'd you do?
33.
So
Success.
is that a regular success?
Yes.
All right. And Bandit, what did you
13
hard?
extreme success.
Extreme? Yes. All right. So a couple things, Haji, and you see that young girl, the Okami, that had come out of the council house. She's over by a tree near the path, going towards the dock. And Paul is over there with her. He has a small wooden box in his hand. And Bandit, you're especially keen on this.
Yeah,
He has lifted her. You can see that, that he's even maybe pulled back her hair and he's looking at something on her neck. It's kind of like a dog looking behind the tail for Bandit. But yeah, he's looking back there. So Haji and Bandit, you see this interaction off to the distance.
I'll tug on Johnny's pant leg and kind of like take a few steps in that direction, kind of take it his attention that way.
And
And of course,
I'll go
Haji, you see it.
over and go, something's, look over there, Johnny. That looks weird.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go check it out, Haji. Bandit.
I'll follow in their
Okay.
wake after they start walking.
Race. You don't need to roll for this. You see a coup come out from, the trees as well. He was out looking too. Um, Comes up and you can see that he's got his hands up and he's running towards Race, or he's running towards Dr. Quest and Nuago.
I will approach Aku with a friendly face, and it's nice to see somebody who we had a rapport before.
Finally some help. Thank you for
Yes.
coming.
Yes, we've been summoned to help you. Aku, what's going on? I see the tensions are high in the village between your people and the miners. There have been some accidents. One of your people shot. People
Yeah,
missing.
it's terrible, but let me stop my brother. Let's calm this down, and then maybe we'll go, then we'll talk. Maybe we can sit down and have a conversation here. The last thing, Dr. Quest, this kind of tense conversation, and Nuago's right on you. You're almost butting heads on it. He puts a hand that's not the machete, one holding the machete, on your shoulder. And he's like, he looks down, it's a forlorn long look, and he's just, because the world is ill, and our forest is dying, and it's destroyed by these outsiders. Where will we go when you have destroyed our world? When the mountains are silent, how will we learn? And that's when you see a coup and Race kind of coming in.
Here's your brother, Aku.
He gives him a look and kind of frustration, and you talk to him. I'm gonna go find Taue.
And
they
I,
start
I put
to walk
I
off.
put my hand on his shoulder
Mm.
and I say, we will do everything that we can do.
Get them out of here now, as soon as possible. And he walks off with his 3 other men.
Aku,
Thank you. I'm so glad you came. Um,
tension seemed rather high.
yeah, it's very dangerous for you all, though. That's not a good time. They've been digging into our mountain. Our mountain is sacred, and those men have been here long enough. They must leave with you, or I'm afraid they're going to die.
Well, Race, I think we're going to have to go up there uh, ASAP. It's dark, but we're
Yes,
going to have to go and visit them and see what the hell. Why
I
on
agree,
earth they would
Doctor.
shoot someone?
Well, and Dr. Lorenzo, he's just like, let me, maybe it's getting late. I'm sure you're hungry. Why don't you come to my house? We'll sit down. We'll talk about this. I have some good pipe tobacco for you. Um, I'll make some tea. We'll discuss what's going on here. If your sons would like to, they could stay with us, or and then Akud looks up and he goes, "Oh, or they could stay in our hut tonight. If they will wish.
Are the
We have more
boys? They're
room."
not right here, are they?
No, they
Like,
seem to be wandering now.
that'll be fine.
So yeah, cool. I'll make accommodations for them. But then Dr. Lorenzo, invites you back to his small house. All right, Johnny, Haji, Bandit, as you're wandering close, you see that Paul looks up and kind of sees the three of you coming towards him. And he backs off and starts to head towards the ship.
Well, that was weird.
Yokami's there. She has now she's got this little box and she's putting into her little medical bag that she had been carrying.
Maybe
And
you
she
should
starts to
ask.
walk towards you.
Maybe you should ask what's up with the box, and I'll try and follow Paul, see what he's up to at the boat.
Okay, so you want to separate?
Always
All right.
split the party.
I'll talk to Akami and ask her kind of what's with the box and how does she know Paul?
Oh, she looks at you. Are you saying this in her language or are you just English?
Yeah, because I think she only speaks she speaks some English too, but yeah, however I can
Yeah,
communicate.
she switches to English as you know, your broken, you know, local dialect is not the greatest. Switches to English and she speaks really well for probably someone who's only been exposed to it for maybe a year or so, if that. Um, but that Paul he brings medical supplies. You know, they're bringing some food and medical supplies. He brought this to me personally.
What
And
kind
you've got a
of
really good strong smell of Paul. You know, you could pick that smell up anywhere.
Yeah.
Are you going
Uh,
with Johnny? Or are you staying with Haji?
Probably staying with Haji on
Okay.
away from the boat on dry land.
Okay, Haji, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to ask her what kind of medical thing is he giving you, or what are you treating that you have to get outside medical? I'm just kind of curious.
Oh, he's gives me, various medicines, keep the sickness away, things like that. This will help a lot of people.
Is there a lot of sickness?
Oh, no, not too much. Do you want a psychology roll or Haji? Want
Yeah, I don't know if I have that one on here. I don't have a psych one on my sheet. I don't
to
think.
see. What do you have?
Uh, Medical's probably the closest.
Give me oh, I didn't do yeah, it's psychology. You have a
Where is it?
40.
All right. I don't. I'll
It's
roll,
a
but
sorry, it's right. Occult psychology, read lips.
I got a 70. I failed massively.
Okay. Um, no, you think that it's just some kind of medical.
All right. Um, I'll kind of thank her for her time, and then I'll see if I can kind of tag up with Johnny because I don't know what else to ask her at that point.
Right. Easy enough because she's headed back towards the village when
I'll tell her I'll see her later.
she reaches down to pet Bandit. Do you let her?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, as she reaches down, well, Haji, you're right there. Why don't you give me another spot hidden?
Uh,
Is there anything unusual about her scent?
No,
yeah,
she
well,
does not smell like Paul or
Okay.
anything like that.
I got a 19, major success.
Oh, that's a good. Um, as her hair kind of falls to the side, she has a little um injury, a little cut in the back of her neck.
She's walking away, right? So I'm not really
Mhm.
talking to
She
her
reached
anymore.
down. She reached down to pet bandit. You can see when she bent down that her hair kind of parted, and she has a little cut on her neck, and it's a little welt as well right there.
So, if I can I ask her real quick, what happened to your neck?
Oh, she looks up, surprised. Mosquito bite.
I probably don't believe her, but I'll kind of keep it under wraps for now, so I'll let her go.
All right. Johnny, as you're walking closer and closer to the
I'm, I'm,
ship.
tr I'm trying to be stealthy and so
Oh,
Paul doesn't notice me, or
give me a sneak roll.
I'm very sneaky, so this 11, that's extreme.
All right. Um, I was gonna say though, as you're getting closer, we'll let that go. You're getting closer. You're pretty sneaky. You're hiding from them. You haven't been seen. Uh, but these mosquitoes start to come at you and start to land. They start to bite. Um, any other rolls now is going to be at a penalty. Let me yell at my dog real quick. So,
Okay.
you notice though, as you're walking through bandit or a bandit, sorry, Paul doesn't seem to be bothered by these mosquitoes.
I think we noticed this before, but yeah, it's good to get confirmation. Um, is he just going back to the ship and start offloading the
Mhm.
rest, or?
It does. It's getting dark. It looks like the skipper is, the cabin there is lit up. You can see the skipper kind of moving around in there. They're not loading or unloading anything at this point. It looked like they had grabbed some of that trinoxide and started loading it, but and you can see all the equipment that they had brought, all the supplies they had brought is up on the deck, but they didn't get too much done. And it looks like they're
Hmm.
calling it a night, or at least the skipper seems to be calling it a night.
Bandit already pointed out that Paul was a little weird. He's not bothered by mosquitoes. I think Johnny would be very interested, and I'll follow him a little more.
Okay.
And if he goes to bed, I'll see if I can, I don't know. I'll see what I can do.
All right. All right. Dr. Quest race. Lorenzo leads you into this very modest house. It's basically 2 rooms. There's a little porch. He's got it, or sorry, 3 room house. There's a little porch outside that's screened in, a couple chairs, some benches there. Um, he brings you in. Sorry, my accommodations are quite primitive, but I do my best. Um, it's the first room that you walk into. It's obviously an exam room. Um, Seems well stocked with, your basic needs. No one's in here. He goes back to there's a little kitchen, and you can obviously see there's a bedroom there too. And how do you like your tea?
Oh, it's delicious. Thank you.
Yeah.
Look, I was thinking, do you think I could set up? Do you have a lab where you do your medical stuff?
Yeah, he has a very primitive, basic setup, but
I brought some equipment with me as well. Do you mind if I set up my stuff next to yours?
oh, please,
I
please do.
I
I'd
have
love
this
to watch you
inkling
work.
feeling that there might be something wrong with the trinoxide.
Oh, I don't.
The coloration in your plants has changed quite a lot since we were last here,
True. I
and
mean,
animals seem to be acting quite strange. Even the insects seem to be acting strange. Um, I think I need to run some tests to see if there's not some toxin that you're being exposed to.
I think you're right, Doctor. I think there's something going on. This has only been happening, this change, and you may have noticed that even our food, they're growing quite well. The local vegetables and fruit, but they just don't have taste to it. It's just very odd. This has only been a month or so that this has been. It's been kind of gradual too.
Well,
It's been very
we
odd.
got we got a report that the miners found a mother lode, a much larger concentration. So it
Yes.
might be one of those things that when there's a lot of it in the area, I hope that it's not radiation. But
Oh,
I've got this handy Geiger counter here that I
yes, yes.
see
Oh,
if there's
it does produce. Obviously you can get some. He's probably got a piece of the trinoxide as a paperweight sitting there. It does give off a low,
not a dangerous level
no,
of
but a
radiation.
low signal. It's something that you had picked up earlier, but and that's the kind of telltale that is a pure
Right.
trinoxide. It's within that range. But you really never did any test on whether or not it is harmful to people. And he's sitting there. Lorenzo is that would explain so much.
Some metals and salts are highly toxic.
Maybe that's what's poisoning the miner's mind up there. That
Yeah. We'll let me set that up and I'll run some tests. And then I think if possible, Race and I might fly up there and see what's going on. Do you know any of the details behind how your shaman got shot or what was going on? Was there an
uh,
altercation?
it's been almost, I don't know, maybe almost 2 months ago. Um, I didn't see the incident, but from a coup. Matt Vickery, the mining foreman up there, he's not a pleasant man anyways. He's never been a pleasant man. He put that damn track right through the village. He could have moved it someplace else, but he put it right through the village. There was no reason for that. And he kind of laughed, I think, at him while he was doing it. I told him not to do this, but he didn't care. And I know the villagers protested, but
Well,
I
he
think he
obviously has no respect for the indigenous people.
no, he does not. I mean, he wants them to help him. They're the ones that are unloading the trinoxide, putting it into the carts, pushing the carts all the way to the docks, unloading it there. He's using them for that. And he's also expecting them to send food up to him on a regular basis. He's just not a very pleasant man, but he killed a Kiwi. My understanding is that there was an incident at the dock while they were loading the trinoxide. Um, Kiwi was never happy with that the men are up there into the sacred mountain anyways. Um, and Kiwi was kind of threatening the miners just to that they would stop helping. He would, get the villagers to stop helping him. He would not send them food anymore. And in fact, he would stop these shipments coming in. And this was right at the dock, because this desecration, he was just completely opposed to it. Um, and Matt apparently just pulled out a pistol and shot him dead right there.
Say, Dr. Lorenzo, uh, the relations between the villagers and the miners, when did they start to sour up? Like, were
Well,
they,
it
did it
wasn't
start
great.
about, it was
Go ahead.
never great, yes, but,
No.
and I would like to look out the window as the night has fallen by now, I presume.
Hmm.
Has the forest, the purple light, basically. Like, are we surrounded by an aura of purple light now?
Yeah, and it's it's interesting. You probably come out onto his little porch and sit and you're smoking. Although I don't think Ray smokes at all. I've never seen him smoke a cigarette. So as you're looking at the mountain there, you can see, I mean, it's very tall, obviously, but you can see that there is some kind of some lights up there, and what might be a crane sticking over the edge with a something hanging, large basket device out there, and obviously you see a few lights, but it's got this luminosity to it. It's this again violets and purples and very odd
So,
color.
yeah, I would like to inquire, Dr. Lorenzo, about that. Can you tell me, please, when does this illumination start?
Oh, started
The, the
maybe,
plant life, the
yeah.
mountain?
Well, it started after the incident on the dock, of course, and then and Towie had run off. He saw it all, this murder at the dock. But it wasn't long after that we started to see the mosquitoes started to get really bad, and just slowly over the next few weeks, the vegetation started to do this weird color. The mountains started to change. Everyone in the village started to get very worried. There's no shaman. There's no one here to talk to the ancestors. No one to explain what was going on. I couldn't explain what's going on. Think Dr. Quest has maybe the most plausible idea here that maybe there's something with this trinoxide that we just didn't know about.
Uh,
I'm not
there's
seeing any sicknesses, but
there's things that we don't know about trinoxide. It's not a native. It's not from Earth. It's from a meteorite. And
oh, it's interesting.
I'm wondering how much of this mountain itself was composed of some ancient meteorite that crashed here.
Well, I
And
know Matt is very pleased that they found a very large deposit of it.
Mm, but it is understandable that the villagers would be upset with the things. From their perspective, the situation is
Race, do you
getting
think
out
we
of
should
control.
Race, do you think we should go up there tonight, or should we go first thing in the morning?
I'm worried of us trekking the jungle during the night.
Oh, we'd fly.
We
We'd use our jetpacks.
we could fly from here, yes, if it's within range of the jet belts, we could do that. We should be safe in the air, and I again look around.
As I recall,
Oh,
there's a fairly large cave entrance up near the
yes.
Yes,
top. That's where we encountered. That's where Turu, the Terrible, was coming
Ah,
from.
you have to tell me about Turu. That seems to be just a story that Aku was telling me. It can't be real, right? You didn't
The
really see
problem is that
a dinosaur, did you?
there's nothing I could do to convince you that it was true, but it was true.
oh,
Um,
very true indeed.
Really?
it must have been some sort of holdover. I don't know. I mean, I never had the chance to actually examine the creature. Uh, it was uh, it was killed when it crash landed when Race hit it with the bazooka and it fell into the boiling hot tar pits,
Hmm.
along with Dean Stokely.
Stokely.
Yeah. Huh. That sounds like quite an adventure. I'm glad I wasn't here for that, actually.
These things happen all the time.
Well, do you think then that if there was such a creature up there, the miners have been complaining that, well, quite frankly, a large group of miners had just left. They'd taken the Amazon Queen. They left what probably a week ago.
Oh, well, they didn't
Nine
make
of
it.
them did.
Mm.
What? They
We
didn't make
found
it.
the Amazon Queen halfway here. It was
Mm.
half submerged, and we found the remnants of bodies.
Oh, that's terrible. Those men were they were getting out. Um, that's terrible.
In
So,
fact, that's where we encountered quite a few large um, river creatures. Some of them looked very strange. I mean, aside from the alligators and the anacondas and things like that, there was something that looked very much like, oh, I'd say, like a serpent creature, uh, but it had arms. Uh,
arms.
something, I mean, there's so many different species here in the Amazon that haven't been cataloged. I figured it could be something like that, but they were quite large, quite vicious, jumped onto the ship. We managed to push them off and get away.
Hmm.
Uh, one of them we injured, and he fell onto the ship and died. But he sort of, if you're familiar with shaggy mane mushrooms, uh, they're hard to deal with because if they're dead for just a few minutes, they begin to
Hmm.
deliquesce. They
Hmm. Hmm.
liquefy, and whatever he was, he kind of liquefied.
Do you
So,
think it sounds like a yeah, the villagers talk of all kinds of strange creatures that wander around. Um,
wait,
there's a fish. There's a large fish with arms, kind of furry. Um,
that's what they were talking about. Yeah, I mean, it's not so much like a lizard, uh, like I mean, a very bizarre mermaid, if you will.
so yeah, it sounds like a local legend. There's some kind of strange creature. I know Tana, something like that. They talk about
Ah,
some large fish with arms and hair that swim around. Very magical creatures. Um,
that's interesting.
no, again, the miners are being attacked. I just dismissed it as some kind of jaguars have gotten up there or something.
Well,
Been
the
plaguing them. They
boys the boys also said they saw some very odd monkeys. Uh, kind of reminded them of what like star-nosed moles with
ah,
feelers on their faces.
we have seen something very similar in the forest around here. Um, yeah, I mean something. Yeah, we've seen the same. I think the same thing. They keep to themselves. They don't bother us, but we have
Yeah.
seen them.
See, so it'd be fascinating to spend my whole life going through the Amazon and cataloging all of the species.
There's
But
some. The villagers talk of some strange creatures out there. But yes, yeah, the miners are being plagued by something real. But I don't think, there's some local talk of ogres, but and
huh,
the
Well,
ancestors that brought them in. But
we we shouldn't dismiss it straight away just because it is folklore from our perspective. These people have been living here for generations, for thousands of years. And, just because they tell it as they're part of their belief system, it doesn't mean it's not real. Dr. Quest and me, we have seen weird things in life, so
so
okay, I'm gonna switch and go on to the boys here. Okay, Haji Bandit, you've seen that Johnny has, sneakily disappeared into the forest. You can see Paul walking towards the ship, it looks like. Um, the young girl that you were just talking to, she seems to be going back into the village and up to one of the huts. Which way do you want to go? And of course, you saw your fathers go into the to the doctor's house.
I'm going to follow Johnny and wherever he goes. If he goes down into the hole, I'll be right behind him.
And I'll be creeping along at Haji's heels.
Bandit, you can you kind of Johnny's being really sneaky, but Bandit, you can easily sniff him out. So you've got his trail.
Yeah, if Haji looks lost, I'll trot on out ahead and kind of uh, beat a path towards him.
All right. You see that Paul gets close to the ship. He's looking around. He's kind of looking back over his shoulders. Are you trying to be sneaky as well? Or are you just Haji Bandit?
Yeah, I would take Johnny's lead. If I notice he's already moving that way, then I'll kind of follow the same suit.
Okay.
Come on.
Give me then your sneaky rolls.
Roll. 50. I have success. Mine's a
All right.
60.
And 73 out of 60. Oh, I've got plenty of luck banked up. I'll spend some.
Right.
I'll make
Right.
that a base success.
So Haji, or I mean, sorry, Johnny, you've got Haji and Bandit come up behind you. You were well hidden, but they've come up right behind you.
Okay, and I'll sign to him to say hello and that I'm trying to
Paul?
follow Paul and see what he does. Um, I really wanted Paul to go to sleep or bed and rummage through his things. That's my goal. I don't know how viable it is, but that's what I was thinking.
He does get up onto the ship. So you're watching him for a little bit. He does go onto the ship. Um, you're getting bit by mosquitoes every once in a while, so
Yeah.
it's annoying to be here for too long. But Paul isn't on the ship for long. You can see he talks to the skipper a little bit. He throws a bag over his shoulder and he comes off the ship.
Okay, I'll move out the way so he doesn't see me and um because they were apparently they're not done offloading. Uh
No,
is
and
is this a heavy bag, a big bag?
oh, it's just like a
What's the
little
feeling?
duffel bag. It's not a big
Oh,
bag.
okay, so it's more
Um,
like probably
it's like
personal items.
simple backpack type of thing he threw over his shoulder. It looks like the skipper was tilting back a bottle and he was going to be settling in, it looked like. Um,
I'll look at Haji and point to Paul and like follow. What should we do?
Let's see where he goes.
yeah, Paul walks right past you. He didn't see you, or at least he doesn't seem to have seen you, and he's walking towards the village.
Okay. Uh, we'll go back to the village, follow him,
Okay,
I
as
guess.
you're, I'm not going to ask for a lot of rolls on this. It's dark. People have been kind of gone into their huts pretty much. There's a few fires here and there out and about, but it's pretty much quiet down. The village is settled in for the night. Um, he goes following the rail line straight back towards the mountain. Um, he looks around every once in a while. He stops, looks back towards you. Doesn't seem to notice you're there. Um, and continues on into the forest, going towards the mountain.
Okay. I'll ask Haji, like, should we just keep following? How long do you think it's because it's pretty dark, right? Is he
Yeah.
following like the train tracks or is he just a random direction there?
Um, he was following the rail line for the at first, and then all of a sudden he's darted off of that rail line, and he seems to be headed west.
Okay. Because if we get lost in the forest, we're pretty screwed.
We have Bandit. Bandit can follow him. Bandit can follow him anywhere.
And do we just only want Bandit or do we want Bandit in front and are we gonna follow as well?
Let's follow.
All right. Bandit, you know what to do. Let's follow this Paul.
Yeah, I'll take point then and sniff my way through the jungle in a good distance back from him.
All right, I just want to take a quick inventory. Are you carrying anything, Johnny Haji, with you? Do you have Bandit's equipment, his little new fancy armor with you? Do you have weapons with you?
I cannot imagine that I
I
still
wouldn't
have
think
my
so.
rifle with me, but
Yeah.
maybe my handgun, if I'm allowed to.
I'll give you whatever you want. I mean, you could have them in a backpack. This is
I'll have my
stuff.
handgun in a backpack, regular stuff for a young kid. And I would also prefer if Bandit has his little rocket belt pack.
All right.
We're stopping to
But
put that
that's
on.
up to yeah, because then Bandit can do more than just bark.
Right.
I'm
Haji,
one
are
for a
are
little
you carrying
growl.
stuff?
So
Yeah, you
if
don't
we'll
love this bandit,
um,
but yeah, they put it on you. And Haji,
so if you allow it, I'll have the handgun in a backpack, but that would be about all I'd have.
yeah, and again, I suspect you have some water with you, some basic stuff. You could have a rope if you want, whatever you think young adventurers would have in that pack. Uh, we won't take a full inventory, but yeah, so you've got backpacks and you have bandits equipment on.
Okay.
Give me one last sneaky roll, everyone, all three of you, as Paul
Which kind
seems
of roll?
the sneaky,
Oh, sneaky.
as Paul seems to stop at one point. You're deep into you're skirting the mountain, but you're far away from the village at this point.
I got a
I had a
success.
regular. Yeah.
Regular.
A hard success.
And it is dark. So I also assume that you probably have flashlights, your torches in the backpacks as well, or some kind of lantern.
Flashlight.
Bandit, you really don't need it right now. You can follow Paul's scent no matter where he goes. You've got him.
The nose leads
Yes.
me into the darkness.
Um, and Bandit, I might as well just tell you in front of everyone, it's not that he's not completely human. There's some of that smell about him. There's that, the meaty smell, but there is something very wrong there.
Okay.
All right. Dr. Quest, Race, what are you doing? Are you just gonna sit there with over some tea,
I think
chat?
we should probably go up there in the morning first thing. We can leave early at daybreak.
Mm-hmm.
The miners will let
Yes.
you up. They'll send a cart down. There's a little elevator on there on the crane.
Well, I mean, they don't even know we're here yet.
You
So,
press a button and it buzzes.
okay. If that's the way they will do it, then we can do that. We don't need to waste our jetpacks. But we'll wait until morning. In the meantime, I would like to set up my lab and look at the trinoxide and see if I can identify any toxins or
Okay.
poisons or anything like that.
I'm going to say that you're not going to pass these, what Haji and Johnny and Bandit have been doing. You don't see Paul, because you're going to go back to get your equipment out of the ship.
Right.
Um, so their interaction happened before while you guys were in there talking with Dr. Lorenzo. They seem to be gone. You don't know where the boys are. You assume they're probably staying with a coup like he had offered.
Sure.
Um, and yes, you get in there to the ship. It is just the skipper there, and he's been, drinking a bit.
Yeah. Skipper, don't let us bother you. We're just getting our stuff.
Oh, hell, great. I didn't want to hear another lecture about whatever what's going on with this.
Yeah, cool.
Do you want to ask
Uh,
anything else, or just grab your stuff and head back?
I think I'm pretty focused minded, so I'm just going to get my stuff and go. But Race is with me, so if he wants to, or is Race with
Uh,
me?
Yeah, Race did to come back.
yes. I was wondering about Paul, but Ray's never witnessed any of the interactions that happened
Right.
just recently, so not really, right? I'll just
Okay.
help carrying the
The
equipment.
equipment and stuff back. All right.
And if the boys want to wander off into the forest in the dark,
They're
they'll
fine.
be fine. Yeah.
I'm sure they're making friends.
Yeah, they'd be fine. Okay, so we'll shift scenes. Johnny Haji, Bandit, you see that Paul has stopped again at the base of this mountain here. It's very pretty. The mountain is it's quite beautiful in this glow. Um, it's what might be a sandstone, a really hard, dense sandstone material, but there's large crystals periodically throughout the sandstone. It's very pretty. It's and again patches of vegetation here and there. It's luminous, it's weird. It's strange. Doesn't give off a lot of light, but there's some glow to it. But it's very pretty. Um, the side of the mountain itself is very steep. It would be nearly impossible to climb unless you're a really skilled climber. Um, but like I said, it's quite lovely, and like these white and pink crystals embedded in it. But Paul, like I said, looks up, gives a couple glances to the side, moves a some vegetation off to the side, and exposes a little hole into the mountain at the base. And you see that there's a rope attached to one of the trees. He pulls that and he starts to scurry down. It's a very tight fit. He can barely just fit through.
When I eventually catch up to that, yeah, I'm definitely going to stop and wait for the boys and just kind of, you know, sniff down it and just kind of look down there.
Yeah, you look down into this darkness, and once Johnny and Haji there, it is a square cut shaft that angles down into the mountain, into the base of the mountain. For
Definitely
how far
man-made.
you don't know. Pardon?
It's it's definitely man-made then. If it's
Yes.
like a yeah.
Yes, it's not a natural formation. That's pretty obvious. The only thing that you do notice that might be a little like outstanding is that there has been a lot of weathering around the opening. So instead of sharp angles there, it is very weathered, and maybe even part of it is in the center at the bottom of that square is almost a little shaft where the water has been kind of working its way down. How long you don't know, but yeah, it goes straight into the base of the mountain.
I'm thinking it's a really bad idea to go into in here. But then again, I think Johnny is just fearless and impulsive. So I think
You know, by looking
we'll
at both
just go
you,
down.
Haji and Johnny, your fathers wouldn't couldn't fit through this.
But we can.
Oh,
You
oh,
can.
oh, how small is this Paul guy?
He is taller than you are, but he's
Oh,
not
very
any broader.
lanky.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll signal to Haji like go down, right? And maybe like signal to band like turn on your rocket belt. Then you can also how steep? I forgot how steep was it?
It's not like if you put Bandit could probably crawl down it
Oh, okay,
without
okay. Then
using the it looks more like, and you could see that the rope had been taut for a little bit, and then all of a sudden it loosens, like somebody has let go of it. But you could go down it without a rope if need be.
I'll
It's
look at the
not
other
that
two and
it's steep, but it's not so steep that you would just lose your footing and slide down.
you want to go down, Bandit? Check it out. Okay. I'll take point this time. I'll slowly and carefully climb down, always looking behind me for when I reach the end.
Okay, you go down for what seems to be hundreds of feet. You're working your way down this shaft. You kind of lost distance. You don't see the opening anymore by the time you finally drop into a not a huge room, roughly circular chamber. It looks fairly natural. Um, there's rubble, all, big blocks of rock laying around, but most of this has been all pushed to the side. And right in the center is a fire ring. Um, there is some charred wood there in that middle of that fire ring. There's a reed mat. Somebody has woven a mat to lay down on. Um, a tube, a hollow reed tube is laying there next to a bowl, a ceramic bowl of red powder that's in there. And there's also another little bowl of some kind of grayish substance as well. And so somebody's been here, but that's not the only thing you notice. On the walls, all around this fairly natural cavern, are these strange designs. So you've got these that all these red ochre, it's red ochre that makes this paint. You've got these outlines of hands, hundreds of these outlines of hands all over the walls. These sun symbols, what you would assume is a sun. It looks like a sun, but no expert in this stuff. And then there's these weird cucumber shaped things with stick legs coming out of the bottom and six long appendages. It's like a pickle or something with six long appendages out the top and two little legs coming out the bottom. Um,
Okay.
It's a musty
Uh,
smell down here. It's a very odd smell. The last thing you notice as you're shining, moving your flashlight around, and Bandit, you definitely catch this, is that there is an opening, another squarish opening off to the side. And you know that Paul has gone that way.
Yeah, I'll kind of sniff off in that direction and then give a little bark back to the boys.
Johnny Haji, what do you want to do?
um, the gray substance, does it remind me of anything?
Give me a science.
And I wanted to do an occult for the
Yes.
murals, but I only have 10 in occult, so 15 for I have just a hard success for science.
All right.
Yeah.
It is you're it's odd. Maybe it's spores?
Okay, we could have most things we wanted, right? Do I have
Hmm.
like a vial or something to scoop it up and give it to
Yes.
my dad?
Yes.
Because he
And in
probably will find this very interesting.
the other ceramic bowl had this red powder in it. Excuse me.
I'll take some of that as well. And I'll try an occult as well for the murals. My occult
Haji,
is
you can
10%,
try
so
a
yeah.
cult as well if you want.
Yeah.
That's 36. No.
So while Johnny's doing that, I'll try to look at the mural there and see if I can recognize any of that. So I can do the occult if that you want,
Yeah, yeah. Do your cult.
and I
You have a
passed.
yeah, you have a good cult score. All right, so you do not recognize what the little strange cucumber-like things are. Um, you're gonna guess, again, this is not your culture. You're gonna guess that that sun-like symbol represents maybe power, maybe, something luminous, something, either powerful or bright. It may not be literally a sun. It could be a star as well.
Okay.
The handprints are all relatively the same size. There's variations, and it looks like they produced them. This is not uncommon in North American um, glyphs like this that they've probably blown and in Europe and other places that they've probably blown this reddish powder over their hands and they've stuck their hands up onto the wall. So because it's both left and right hands. Maybe for that role, Haji, that might be visitors, people that have used this particular cavern and you're looking around at the paraphernalia that's laying there, this pipe, stuff like that. Maybe this is a shaman's cave, someplace where they would come to commune with the ancestors, with the gods, with some other being.
Okay. I'll pass whatever I
Okay.
think might be on to Johnny, but then kind of like there's nothing else here to describe. We can kind of move on.
You get a
Yeah.
sense with that occult that this is a sacred place.
Okay. We'll follow Bandit. I think Bandit is pointing in some direction.
Uh,
And I'll ask Paul I'll ask Haji like Paul's not indigenous, right? He's not from here. What's he doing in a
No,
place like this?
doesn't look
Well,
like the natives.
when they make their way over to me, I'll start shimmying down the next hole.
okay, I'll shift quickly to Dr. Quest and Race. You've got your equipment. It's going to take a little bit to set up. Um, Race, what are you doing as Doctor is prepping all this stuff?
I would set my alarm clock for dawn's break, right? To
Right?
get up and early. I will have a walk around the village. I want to check how it looks now that the things have calmed down.
Okay. All right.
Maybe look
That's
into Aku's hut.
yes, you do know where a coup is, and why don't we just you walk in there, you look around. Give me a spot hidden as you're walking around the village, though.
That's a regular success.
You see that Yukami comes out of Aku's hut. It's probably his family house there. And she looks around and she dashes off into the jungle.
And it's already dark. Yes, it's
It's
established.
dark. Yeah, I mean there's little fires here and there, but it's once she gets into the jungle, it she just disappears into the blackness. Not to say that you couldn't follow, but yeah, she would it would be tough. But yes.
I don't have any light with me, I presume. No lantern or.
I don't know. It's up to you if you wanted to have brought some of that or not bothered anyone and just kind of walked around into the darkness.
Yes, I would attempt to follow her, right? I would realize it might be in vain because the conditions are as they are, but still,
Yeah, I understand.
Race is not somebody that backs down easily, right? So he would definitely at least attempt it.
Give me a tracking, but I'm going to need for this. Um, she seems to not be wanted to be followed. You're gonna have to get an extreme on this tracking.
Okie. Yeah, no, that's a 92, so.
I doubt if you want to spend that or even have that much luck. All right. No, you get there to the edge and you're listening and looking around, and she just kind of, for all intents and purposes, disappeared into the darkness,
And
going towards the mountain.
going towards the mountain.
Hmm.
Interesting. And how is the jungle? Because usually the jungle is very noisy at night. At night.
Oh yeah. I mean, other than you kind of hear some rustling here and there from things, maybe a screech of an animal off to the in the background. Mosquitoes, you hear the bugs flying and buzzing around you, but and maybe a bird call at night, but it is quiet. It is nothing like you had experienced prior to this. It is just the jungle is not alive at night here.
That is weird.
Yeah, everybody
Um,
seems to have, and it may be even weird that strike you weird as the villagers have all just kind of huddled into their own huts and just you don't see people walking around. They've just kind of bedded down.
uh, would it be polite to visit Aku at this time? Or would it be
Okay.
something?
Yeah, you know his hut's there. You can definitely walk into it.
You're probably expecting too
Yes.
that the kids are there.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the dangerous part because that might prompt us to action, the Dr. Quest.
It is what it is.
But yeah, on the other hand, Race cares about the boys, so he would check on them if they are safe and if they are behaving
I could see
properly.
that. That would be a very race thing to go in and you poke your head into what it's a coos hut. It's not obvious. There's a lot of partitions, woven partitions that kind of block off this very large hut inside. There's a lot of support posts inside, and then between some of those support posts, it's made little almost rooms with this reed mat partitions. Um, you see some people, most the people are just hanging in their hammocks, kind of asleep, it looks like. Um, are you going to try to just kind of wander around?
I I don't want to go around somebody's house, pretty much, you know. But if Aku is visible, like if he's up, I would.
Yeah, you will see Aku there. He actually notices you and looks up a little bit from his hammock.
I would approach him then. Hello, Aku. Good
Race,
evening.
what you need?
Just checking in if everything is alright with you, your family. The boys have not been misbehaving or anything.
The boys, I thought they were with you. They didn't come here tonight. We had a hammock ready for them and a place over there, but I haven't seen them at all.
That's that's weird.
They really shouldn't be wandering the jungle at night or the forest at night. It's not safe. I mean, Towie's missing. It's easy to get lost out there.
Oh, funny you mentioned that because I've just noticed your daughter going into the forest.
He looks very concerned. What? Why would he goes to straight to the door and starts yelling out, "Yakami, where are you?" No
Cool,
answer. No.
cool.
Which
I
way did
think
you go?
she went that way, and I point towards the mountain.
I curl. I don't know. Maybe we'll get some torches or something and go look for.
Yes, if you could get the torches, I'll get Dr. Quest, and I believe that tonight we are
All
going
right.
into the darkness.
We will switch then. It's almost 11 here.
About 8 minutes left.
Yeah, I think boys, you're down into this what you think is the shaman's cavern. Clearly Bandit has started to move into this opening. The thing that you notice if you're following Bandit and Bandit's sniffing, he's doing that classic nose down, tails up. He's got Paul's scent, and you are. I think Bandit, you're just going through.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Haji, as you're looking around, you notice that this this opening again, and Johnny, you're not completely oblivious to this either, are is been cut. The angles are still sharp. It looks like it's new.
Like it was just punched out with a machine.
Yeah,
Yeah. Sort of.
maybe it's the miners have cut through on this, maybe, but it's not very large. It's still maybe 3 foot high. So it wasn't a big machine. It's not something that, a man could just walk through easily. You still have to crawl almost. Both you and Johnny have to crawl through. But yeah, this is fairly new.
Hmm.
As you, okay, so not as Johnny Haji, you're entering into this because
Yep.
Bandit, I think, is going.
I'm following Bandit. Cannot leave that cute dog alone.
All right. And this is probably where we're gonna end it with a couple rolls. You, both of you, it's not very long opening here, a little tunnel, but you quickly go into, or you quickly exit it into what looks to be a very, very odd cavern. Maybe a whole system here that's been opened up. This is weird. It's luminescent. As you walk through, it starts to glow. The cavern, this tunnel that you're in, starts to glow around you. Yes,
It
John.
starts to glow as we enter.
Yes,
So it's not just some bioluminescence, what is it, like
it
fungi or something?
is bioluminescent, but it seemed to react to your presence here. So as
Oh,
you walk into this cavern, this tunnel
Oh,
lights up around you.
let's see if I
And
can scoop something up for the doctor.
yes, you can put some of this um, growth, this fungi, into a bottle there. It is a very odd cave. It's there seems to be it's whitish color, a creamy color, very coral-like substance wrapped around. You've been seeing natural. The room that you just come through, that in the tunnel that you just passed through, seems to be this natural stone. This is cream color, this almost white color with very porous, lots of little holes in it. And in those holes is this fungus that's growing. These um you also see when you're talking about this fungus, you see that there's floating in the air that bits of it, kind of dust-like, floating around it. Um, Embedded in that coral-like substance is what, like roots, maybe something that it's running through. Very, very weird, strange root-like things running into the walls. And the coral like has grown over some of that root system, but it's just tangled with roots all over. They don't get in your way. It's wide open, this tunnel is, but it's into the wall system. I need, as you walk into us, a POW roll from all three of you.
okay.
Yeah, and I can use a bonus die for
Ooh.
my talent.
Odd six. That's an extreme success.
Excellent.
I rolled 100.
45.
You rolled a Haji, you rolled 100.
Ooh, the other end of the spectrum.
Now, Haji, did you get a bonus on, do you have a bonus on POW or not?
Let's
No,
see.
the
Nope.
intelligence is yours. Okay.
With a bonus, I just have a regular success, 45.
Haji, this, and this fits your, kind of fits your character. And you really feel like the hairs on the back of your neck rise. Even the hairs on your arms start to rise. It's an electricity type in the air. It feels very unnatural. It feels wrong. This is not a place that should exist. It is very weird. It is very unnatural. It's got you very uneasy right now. You're not running away. You're not going to go screaming out, but you are very uneasy, on the edge. For now on, while you're down here, all your sanity rolls are going to be done with disadvantage. So you will take a penalty die. Johnny, you notice that Haji he's got sweat beads, beating up on his forehead. He's looking around. He's kind of taking this in. He looks very uncomfortable. Bandit seems fine. Bandit, other than every once in a while, Bandit, you sneeze because the air smell, for Bandit, the air smells stale. Um, but you definitely know that Paul has been through here.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll run up
yeah.
to Haji and try and comfort him.
All right. We're gonna end with Bandit kind of giving one of that classic dog sneezes. And I think we'll end it for the night then, as Raj or as Race and Dr. Quest is there with Aku and their torches, looking at the edge of the forest and about to enter into it, and Johnny and Haji and something very strange.
Tune in next time for the further
For our
adventures.
exciting
of
adventures.
Johnny, quest. Our players included Kun Leighton, Shane Hartman, Lessig Thielshire, Luke Strom, and myself, with Thomas Grooms as the keeper of arcane lore. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members. You can set up private games. You can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for the show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you'd like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Pulp Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good gaming.